Hi friends, welcome back to another tank update. As you can see, the scape is totally different, and I got some new things to show you as well. First, as you can see, the camera is not nearly as blue, and this is because I got some lenses. Right there is Officer Fernando, our new fox face. He's fantastic. In fact, he decided to take that entire bit of algae, rip it off, and now it is floating to my pump. Wonderful, my wave maker. All right, that's fine. They'll eat it. But as you can see, the tangs are eating nori now, and it's because Officer Fernando showed them the way. I call him Officer Fernando specifically because sometimes these fish are known to be peacekeepers. When there is a aggression or territorial disputes, they will oftentimes place themselves in between the fish that are fighting, or at least maybe not oftentimes, but it's been accounted for online, so that's pretty cool. As you can see, we've got quite a few new guys in here. We got two flasher wrasses. They're different colors. I got that leopard wrasse right there too. He's really nice, the blue star leopard. But yes, these wrasses are different colored. Even though they both look red, if you were up close, you'll see the lines and stuff on them, and they are a little bit different. They're a little territorial with each other, but not really that bad. All right, so back to everything else. So Officer Fernando, he's definitely the biggest addition in my opinion. Really cool. And our little flame hawk, I call him Struggle because they don't have a swim bladder. I can't really see him. He's being shy right now, but they don't have a swim bladder, so it's tough for them to swim. It's actually really funny. But they perch on rocks and look out, basically. They look out for prey and things like that. And damn, Fernando is beautiful, isn't he? And there's our purple tang, a chromis. You can see the chromis are getting a little bigger. So yes, anyways, back to what I wanted to show you, the rockscape. It is different. I had to redo some things because I bought a Montipora. That is a beach bum Montipora. You can see how it's got the yellow and the green. Those are its typical colors, yellow and green. It will spread rather quickly. It is my first I think it's my first fast growing, intermediate level coral. It is a, SPS intermediate coral. They're not as prone to bleaching as Acropora, and they're not as demanding on the requirements, but this is an encrusting variety, and it is still very possible I could screw this thing up. However, that is a big piece. Got it from Tidal Gardens. It was 50 bucks. Not bad. What you see is what you get, and that is exactly what I got. Something cool. I also, in the same purchase, got these blue Duncans. Really pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like blue and green inside the polyp. It's like a burst kind of color in the middle. It is so gorgeous. There is probably like 4 or 5 heads on that, maybe 6. Just some of them are in the back that you can't really see. Our greens have been moved down, and as you can see, the coloration is a little bit better. I don't know with all the blue in the last videos that I had if it really showed what I feel like was bleaching, but these things are growing out quite significantly. I don't know if you can see it there, but there are 2 more heads forming there, and that one right there on the side there, that's a new one too. It's already pretty big. I do feed my corals AB Plus from Red Sea. I do that actually daily, about 15 to 20 milliliters. I also have been spot feeding certain corals like the Duncan, the Pectina coral back there, the Favia, and the Micromusa. I like to spot feed because it enhances growth and prevents them from being too stressed out. Our chalice is getting bigger. You can see like the purple, and it's actually blue. I think that once it gets a little bigger, it'll be a lot more pronounced in the color. But I am looking forward to that. A bit of a slow grower. I have the new Devil's Hand leather looking good. Our Rickordia mushroom looking good as well. It's very small, but it is getting big. Our hammer. Now, these guys are closed up right now because I cleaned the glass before doing this video, and my dumbness accidentally picked up some sand and dropped it on him. So the sand caused him to close, but you can see sort of the colors there, the oranges. They're really nice. It's a very beautiful Zoa, in my opinion, called the Tangerine Dream. I've also got the Vamps in drag. They're a little bit longer stock, yellow, purple, and some blue in the center. Really pretty coral. Our Rastas, they're actually growing very well. You can see it's starting to encrust on the rock. We've got our Stylophora rainbow. They don't look as colorful unless they're under white lighting. Anything under 10K will probably make them pop a little bit better. So you may or may not ever see the true potential in color, and I might not either because I keep actinic light running. But for the purposes of photos and things, I will likely end up switching the lights on just to get some different photos when it's a little bit bigger. Right now, I don't really think the color is too pronounced. We've got our pink bird's nest looking like it's all right. Our green bird's nest looking like it's all right. And then, of course, we have our hammers and our frog spawn. That is the big old wall hammer. It's a paint splatter. He has some mean sweepers, so I made sure to point them sweepers in between that little cove right there. So when he pulls them out, they tend to float back that way. We've got our, you can actually see that the Leposteris is quite a lot larger now. When we look at it from an angle. We have our micro Gonioporas. They are doing fantastic. I was real nervous about those because from what I understand, they're pretty hard to keep. Our blast furnace Fabia. It's not really grown too much, but you can see the orange border there that's growing out on the sides. It's got greens and reds. Again, I'll try to figure something out with lighting and stuff so we can really make these things pop. The Micromusa and all the fish around it. I guess these guys are like, stay away from my home sort of a thing. So cool thing about the fox face back there, Officer Fernando, when they're startled, they change color pretty much instantaneously. They get like a brown color, so their yellow just disappears completely. It's really cool, but it's also kind of sad when it happens because I don't want him to be scared, but he is, So anyways, I'm sure he'll get better. And also another point, usually they're considered peacekeepers just because of the fact that when they swim around, the other fish know, oh, well, it must be safe out there. And that is because they have poisonous barbs. If you get stung by that, it's pretty much the equivalent of getting stung by a lionfish. It is very painful. And if you are under the age of, I think, 8, you would need to be rushed to the hospital. Or if you have an allergic reaction, you would need to go to the hospital. Luckily, I'm not allergic. At least I haven't tested the theory, and I don't plan to. Just mind your hands when maintaining the tank if you have one of these guys in there. The Pectina is looking actually pretty good, but what I wanted to show you guys was this purple candy cane. If any of you have any advice, please let me know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've changed the positioning, trying to give him lower light, but you can see that the tissue is receding on the bottom, and it's getting worse. So I'm a little worried I'm going to lose this coral. Right now it seems fine. It's not receding super quickly, but it is happening, and it's something I would like to resolve. However, my attempts have been in vain. And it's only a one head, so it worries me. If I lose it, I lose it. That's it. And then we've got the green candy canes here. They're starting to look a little better. They're nice and puffy, so we know they're doing fine. Torchy, yeah, he's pretty freaking big. He's just getting bigger. Also, our Dragon Soul, you can see the golds and the purples coming down from the bottom. Looks beautiful, flows perfectly well. I believe this is an Indonesian torch, and the other two are actually Australian. And the reason that I think this is because the long, thinner tentacles here in comparison to the shorter, fatter tentacles there. Also, the light's not doing this guy too much justice, but these are violet tips with purple tentacles. And then we have our gold. This thing is just probably my family's favorite. They really like this one, but my heart lies with the Dragon Soul, just because I know it's a little more rare, a little bit more expensive, and it's Indonesian. So I have a few reasons why I like that. But the Pectina. You can see that the Pectina is starting to grow out, actually, a little bit there. I don't know if you can tell, but there is a nice little nubbin coming off. So it is starting to expand, and those are slow growers. So that is a great sign for me, at least. It tells me that, you know, my tank parameters are solid for it. The calcium has been upkept. One thing that I've noticed, though, is magnesium drops. My magnesium is anywhere between 1200 to 1260 per the use. And really, you want to keep it closer to 1400, 1350 to 1400. But unfortunately, every time I raise it, I think it stresses out the corals. So I've been just moderately dosing per recommendation, you know, reef to reef, Logan's respectable reef keeping, all of that good stuff. You know, they really advise that rather than chasing numbers, keeping things stable, even in a lower setting, is still better than just massively pumping it out. And even when I do this, it doesn't matter because the magnesium goes from 1400 straight back down to 1200. So that's just where my tank wants to be. It's probably because of these Euphyllia. All of these Euphyllia are just sucking it up. But, you know, as long as they're happy, they're extended, I'm just going to roll with it. And there's Struggle. As you can see, he perches on the rocks and just chills. Yes, all that white stuff around him is super glue. I wanted to make sure that this rock formation here that I made this cove with would be secure. It looks ugly, but it'll brown up over time. So I'm not too worried about it, as much as I'd appreciate the aesthetic to be a little better. Anyways, guys, this is the update on the tank. And yes, the lid is doing great. We've had no losses. So I definitely like that. I'm looking to see if I can find the Watchman, but the Watchman is in here. I don't think I showcased him at all. Anyways, guys, that's the update. If you have an answer to my magnesium question, I'd appreciate it, or specifically my candy cane. You know, if you know anything, any advice about them, have kept purple candy canes before, I'd be happy to hear about it. Oh, and you can see the tentacle of a brittle star right there. But anyway, hope you guys have a good one, and thanks for watching.